to get us some dive sites that are out there. But unfortunately, you're fighting City Hall when you're fighting the National Park System.
Really?
They'll bend over backwards for joggers and jet skiers and fishermen, but the scuba industry, we can't even get off the bottom line.
No kidding.
So we have absolutely zero support from them. We pay the highest usage fee out there for the privilege of conducting business.
Really?
Yet we have no place, virtually no place to train.
So when you take people to go out diving up there in Lake Mead, you take them out on a boat? You have to try to row a boat?
Shoreline. There's no charters at Lake Mead.
Really?
It requires a captain's license. People have tried it, and again, you're butting heads with the Park Service.
Right.
Exorbitant fees.
Now,
they just can't make a go out of it.
Yeah. So you go from shore. There's only the shore. From what I saw there the other day, shore access is pretty limited, right?
Very, very limited. We have to actually go to the Arizona side.
No kidding.
To get decent shore access. There isn't anything on the Nevada side that's worthy of diving. You can get to a couple areas that 20, 25 feet, but it's a silt bottom. So unfortunately, you can get away from the shoreline with access to a boat.
That'd be the way to go.
You can get into some pretty good dive areas, but along the shoreline, it's not the best diving conditions. It'd be nice to say, come to Las Vegas for a diving experience. It's not here.
Yeah. Huh. So the divers, once you've trained your divers here at the shop, then they go elsewhere to go diving?
Most of the time they're going to go back to where they were trained.
Ah, okay.
But there again, it's the Park Service has shut down many of the areas that we used to train at.
Yeah.
We can get in there now for training, but the average diver cannot get back in there, so it's absolutely senseless.
Yeah.
Train them in an area that they can't get back to.
That's crazy.
And the strings that you have to pull to get.
Right.
You got to go to Boulder City. You got to make a reservation a week ahead of time, pick up a key, go down. And we've already paid the fee for the privilege of conducting business out there. Like I said, the scuba industry is paying the highest usage fee, and it's close to $700 a year.
Wow.
And that's just for the privilege of conducting business. We're using the Park Service.
Right.
Plus an admission fee to get in.
Yeah. Gosh. But you say that there are several airplane wrecks.
The B-29 is there, but that's a restricted dive. The Park Service has shut that off the moment it was found, and then they claimed possession of it. And it's still probably about 120, 130 to the top of the tail. So it's just getting into a technical dive. It was restricted for the technical dive community. 3 or 4 different agencies within Nevada and out of state, they're trying to make a go of it. And again, you're jumping through hoops with the Park Service. Right now it's closed off.
Right.
But there have been enough Mavericks that have been on the plane that it's been pretty well torn up.
Yeah.
It's a very thin-skinned plane to begin with.
I can imagine. As I was mentioning, we do all our diving up in the St. Lawrence River up there, and the water is the typical visibility during the height of the summertime is probably about 60 or 80 feet. And since it's a river, the water's always moving, so silt is not a problem. And we dive on these wrecks that are, some of them sank pre-1812, during the War of 1812, and they're wooden vessels. So you can actually get down in them, and you can tell that it's a boat, not just a bunch of ribs sticking out of the mud. And typically it's a rocky shoreline, so we don't have a lot of silt up in that area. But we're experiencing some of the same. Imagine the kind of dive pressure there is on these wooden boats. And there's been a group put together up there that has marked the boats so that the dive charter boats don't try to anchor. They tie up to the buoyed markers. That way we have a little less pressure on the boats and the wrecks. But we enjoy some really good diving. The first thing I hear when we talk about diving up in the St. Lawrence River, they say, well, it's cold up there, isn't it? But it's not really. In the summertime we'll see 75 degrees at 110 feet. Yeah.
About 9 years ago, we organized the Nevada Scuba Retailers Association. All of at that time, 6 active professional dive shops, not counting the big box stores, formed an association, so there was one voice going to the Park Service. Because they wouldn't talk to us because they had too many voices.
Right.
We gave them one voice, one collective voice for the dive industry, and they still won't listen. So it's and we've been fighting them for probably 12, 15 years.
Wow.
And gotten nowhere. And as a result, we've had 3 businesses that have gone under.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty tough.
Well, it's difficult to promote diving in an area that the area doesn't promote diving.
Right, yeah. So,
It makes it tough.
again, by introduction, you are, would you tell us again who you are?
I'm Jerry Yost. I'm the owner of American Cactus Divers in Las Vegas, Nevada.
There you go, diving out here in the desert. And you've got, you sell equipment, obviously, in the store. What sort of brands and stuff do you
Primary
sell?
brand is Aqualung, Sequest. Secondary brand is Sherwood.
And how long have you been up here?
19 years.
Wow.
Right
You've seen a lot
now,
of changes.
Was used to be the oldest scuba store in town is closing this month, so now I'm
Oh, no
oldest
kidding.
existing.
Oh my gosh, that's tough. Ah,
As far as the patty facility.
yeah. Now I heard, as a matter of fact, I was researching coming out here to go diving or visiting dive places, and I caught online that there's actually a way you can go dive at the one of the, what is it, Mandalay Bay. They have that reef shark thing there. I guess you can pay $275 a head or whatever to go diving in there. Have you heard anything about that at all?
Very little. Again, it's the gaming industry is an entire industry of its own.
Yeah.
That's
That really surprised me.
a whole different.
And what's your website address?
It's AmericanCactusDivers.com.
That's an easy one. AmericanCactusDivers.com. And you're here on East Sunset.
Sunset and Annie Oakley, cross streets.
Sunset and Annie Oakley. Here, and you're actually in Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas.
Yep. Excellent. You got any other bits of information you want to tell divers? Or
Just come on down and help us try to build a new dive area out there.
there you go. Good one. Okay. Thanks very much.
Okay.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.